Hello. Today in the lesson we will solve examples where we will apply the combinatorial or transpositional properties of multiplication. The first example we're going to write down, and we need to find the product of the expression minus 4a and minus 0.2b, and we have a third multiplier which is minus 3. So if in the example we see multipliers of three numbers, what do? We apply the transposition property and write the numbers next to each other and then find their product. What would that look like? Let's write minus 4 times minus 0.2 and multiply by minus 3. And then let's write down the letter part. And the letter part is made up of the letters A and B. What is the result of that? We can find the product of minus 4, minus 0.2, and minus 3. We just need to multiply. Let's find this product, but first of all, we'll put the sign. Let's remember the rule of multiplication of integers. I multiply a negative number by a negative number. The result is a positive number. I will multiply a positive number by a negative number, and the result will be a negative number. In fact, remember, when you see an odd number of negative multipliers, the result is a negative number. That's what we've just figured that out. Minus times minus yields plus. Plus times minus gives you minus. Notice that if you multiply an odd number of negative numbers, which in our example is 3 negative numbers, the result is a negative number. If the number of multipliers is an even number, the product will be a positive number. But if you don't feel comfortable using this rule, you can stagger what sign the result is, as we did, and we did. We multiplied minus by minus. We got plus, plus multiplied by minus. We got minus. Now we're going to multiply the numbers. Multiply 4 by 0.2 and multiply it by 3. In this case, you can multiply in a rational way. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 0.2 tenths is 2.4 tenths. We have written down the sign as negative. Next, we write down the letter part of AB. The result is minus 2 whole 4 tenths of AB. And one more example. If in the example you see only the alphabetic part, then we need to work with the letter part. Let's write down the example. Minus A times minus B. Multiply by minus C and multiply by minus D. What is the result? In this example, we don't see the numbers, but what we're saying is that if the number isn't written down, we don't see the ratios. If the number is not written down, it is 1. The result is minus 1 multiplied by minus 1, multiply by minus 1 again, and multiply by minus 1 again. We know that when you multiply units, the result is 1. But first, we need to calculate the sign of the product. And as in the previous example, notice that we have 4 multipliers. This is an even number of negative numbers. The result is a positive number. So the product is a positive number. But when we multiply minus 1 by minus 1 by minus 1 by minus 1 by minus 1, we get 1. Or we said in our example that we don't pay attention to the negative sign anymore, we just multiply 1. Of course, we get 1. And then we just have to write down the letter part, and that's A, B, C, and D. We write down the letter part and write the letters alphabetically. The result is the product of A, B, C, D. If there are no numbers and the quotient is equal to 1, then we work with a number with a quotient equal to 1. We apply exactly the same rules when multiplying fractional numbers and rational numbers. The rules don't change, the rules of signs don't change. Our properties, the combinatorial and transpositional properties, also work when multiplying rational or fractional numbers. For example, multiply two integers m by minus 3/7 of n and multiply by minus 5k. Notice that there is no sign between the multipliers, but it is a sign to multiply. Therefore, what am I doing? I write down the numbers. 2 whole 1/3 multiply by minus 3/7 and multiply by minus 5, and then I write down the letter part of mn and k, mn and k. We will use the same rules when multiplying rational numbers. Same algorithm. Note that there are two negative numbers in our product. When we multiply two negative numbers, the result is a positive number. Now we need to multiply our rational numbers. 2.1/3 is an improper fraction. 2 times 3 is 6, and plus 1 is 7/3. Multiply. I'm not writing down the minus because I've already counted those signs. We write down 3/7 and multiply by the first 5. Let's remember the rules of multiplication. The result is that I can divide 7 and 7 by 7, 1 and 1. 3 and 3 I can divide by 3. That's 1 and 1. That leaves 5. And I will rewrite the letter part with an mnk. The resulting answer will be 5 mnk. Next lesson we will learn another property of multiplication. This is the end of our lesson for today. Goodbye. See you again.